What's up, fam? What's up, fam? Hey, Wisdom Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal week starting off. But wanted to tell you a story, and this story is something that I hope you stay to the end with me. Stay with me to the end. Um, Many of you know I grew up in a single parent household. I grew up with just my mother and I. She moved from Cleveland to California when I was 9 years old. She didn't know anyone in California, but she wanted to have a better life for me. So she was determined. And so she moved out there and then sent for me later on that year. And so I always, and you hear me say all the time that my mother, that was my initial why. Now I have a bunch of whys. I have my wife, I have my kids. That's my why. And they help me to understand when I feel like I don't want to get up and get that workout in, when I don't want to make that phone call to different organizations to bring me in, when I don't want to do the things that I know I need to do in order to make those dreams that I constantly talk to you about come true. I think about them. But anyway, this story happened several years ago. And I might get emotional, so y'all got to bear with me. Y'all know I'm an emotional guy anyway, but I don't care. I'm still a thug though. Nah, not in the least. But a couple years ago, I was part of this business. I was part of this business. It wasn't my passion, but it was something that I felt like, if I could do well at this particular business, I could help others because, my whole thing is I want to help others. So anyway, I spoke to my father, who, I don't speak to that frequently, but I spoke to my father and he agreed to purchase something from this business. And so when I called him, my son and I, we were outside playing football. We were playing catch, and actually he called me. And so I'm talking to him on the phone, and I said, hey, are you still going to buy that thing that I was selling in this business? And he said, yeah, I'm planning on buying one. And I said, well, look, I said, I'm going to give you a discounted price because I'm going to give you my price because it makes no sense for you to pay the retail price. I'm going to just give you the wholesale, what I get it for. And you'll be able to get several instead of just getting one. And he made a comment. He said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want to get the one. And I said, well, I understand what you're saying, but think about it. I'm going to give you more for the same price. He's like, no, no, no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And so I don't know what it was, but something clicked inside of me, and I just went off, and I said, it's so funny. I'm trying to tell you the better way to do it. And every time I try to have a conversation with you about something, you always tell me what you can't do, and you never done anything for me. And my mother was the person who did. I mean, I went in. And what I forgot was my son was right there listening. And I'm going in talking about how you never sent me any money. Me and my mother, we was hungry sometimes, and I was expecting you to send something, and you never sent anything. And I'm going in, and that's a whole different story that we'll talk about. But so I get off the phone. I get off the phone with him, and I heard my wife say to my son, DJ, come on in the house. And she didn't hear the conversation, but um, I said, D, I said, go ahead in the house and go ahead and start getting ready for bed. Go take your shower so you can eat and everything. And so my son went in the house, and like I said, he was hearing everything in the conversation I was having with my father, and I was just mad. And so he went in the house, and probably about 10 minutes later, my son comes back outside, and I said, D, I said, come on, man, I told you go in, take your shower, and get ready for dinner. And my son said, Daddy, here. And I said, what's this? He said, Daddy, this my piggy bank. I want to give you my money because I heard you talking about on the phone how, your father never gave you anything. So, Daddy, you can have all the money in my piggy bank. And I said, D, I said, man, I said, I love you so much, son. I said, here, you keep your money. I said, you're fine. Daddy's good. I said, but go ahead and get ready. And so he left. But it was at that moment that I've always told my wife we wasn't raised in the ideal situation. And what I mean by that ideal situation is the two-parent household. What I mean is that white picket fence and all of this stuff. We wasn't raised like that. Her mother, father had their own issues. Um, my mother did the best she could with what she had. And I can say even my father, you know, he did the best he thought he could do at that time. But it was at that moment that I understood that regardless of the past things that my father did or didn't do, I was grown and I couldn't continue to let that affect me the way I let it affect me. And then I had to think about my son who witnessed that conversation I had. And that's not what I want him to think about anyone. See, I have the ability to raise my kids differently than how I was raised, but I got to choose to to do the things that I need to do to put them in a different situation than I was in. And that's what I choose to do. And so that's what this message is about. I don't know how you were raised. I don't know how you grew up. I know a lot of us grew up in dysfunctional families, but who didn't? A lot of people grew up in dysfunctional families, but I know people who are getting it done because they made a choice to get it done. See, I now understand that I have to make a choice to get it done. See, I'm raising a young man who understands the importance of helping others. See, that's what it's about. So regardless of my father, I learned some things from his not being there, that I'm going to be there for my kids. See, all of those things that we go through in life, all of those things that we deal with, we think that, wow, why am I going through this? There's a reason you're going through it, because you got to learn something from it. You got to take something from it. See, I had to take from that experience of my son hearing me have that conversation, that I don't want him to hear me giving my power away to somebody else. See, the choices that my father made was his choices. See, I have the ability to make different choices. You have the ability to make different choices. And so let's make different choices in order to live the life that we truly deserve. We can't blame anyone else for where we are. We're where we are because of the actions or inactions that we're not taking. So I forgave my father. That particular day when my son came, I forgave him. I said, you know what? It's not about what he didn't do. It's about what I'm going to do. See, your life is about what are you going to do with it. See, we got to forgive those people. We got to forgive those situations. We got to understand that we can grow from whatever thing has happened to us. We can grow, we can get better, but we got to want it. We got to stop acting so soft when it comes to fulfilling our dreams. We got to say, you know what, I'm determined. It's a necessity. It's going to happen. It has to happen. All right, Facebook, YouTube. I know this was a long message, but like I said, I hope you stuck with me through the end, because it's about what we're going to do with our life. Don't give people the power to determine what your life is going to be like. You have that power. Whatever situation has happened in the past is the past. Take what you know now. Take what you learned from that situation and use it as your fuel for your fire to do the phenomenal things that you deserve. You can live ordinary or you can live extraordinary. It's your choice. Peace.